I just saw Deadpool, and it was pretty questionable. So Deadpool stars Ryan Reynolds, who plays Wade Wilson, a guy who gets cancer in his... everywhere. So he undergoes this procedure to cure him of his cancer and give him really special abilities. And then the rest of the movie's all about him trying to get revenge on the person who made him like he is, because, you know, he's all ugly and stuff now. And saving his girlfriend in the process. And let me tell you, it's really good. I don't think you have to be any kind of hardcore Deadpool fan to like this movie. Me, I'm somebody who's only really known of Deadpool. I've never read a Deadpool comic in my entire life, but I still really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. Ryan Reynolds was cast perfectly as Deadpool, especially after this previous time where, you know, back in X-Men Origins Wolverine, where, you know, they kind of sewn his mouth shut and gave him adamantium ninja sword cloth things. Like, what the fuck? But thankfully, this version is way better. I also really like that Deadpool wasn't just spewing jokes and killing people left and right. There were a few parts of this movie where Deadpool got really angry or really upset, which I really liked that because you could really relate to Deadpool more. You could actually feel sorry about him a few times. And then he starts killing people and making jokes left and right, so, I mean, what more could you ask for? The rest of the cast was pretty great, especially Morena Baccarat, who played Vanessa, Deadpool's girlfriend, who eventually got kidnapped by the main villain. But between you and me, I think the real kidnapping here was from Morena Baccarat, from Roland Gotham. You know, but you know, it's okay. You know, she's still on the show and everything, so you know, everything's good. Please tell me I'm not the only one that likes Gotham out there. I really like this takes place in the X-Men universe, which makes us even better like me, but don't get me wrong, you don't have to be an X-Men fan to enjoy this movie. This just it'll kind of enhance the movie, I guess you could say. Although I gotta admit, it's a little strange that we get a new Colossus this time around as opposed to, you know, the one that was in the other films, because, you know, this one's a little different because, you know, he doesn't, you know, change back into the human form, and, you know, this one's a lot bigger, and this one's a lot smaller, and this one is probably a communist. And it's great they're not afraid to make fun of how the timeline of the X-Men movie universe has been kind of all... And of course, Deadpool breaks the fourth wall a lot in this movie. He actually does it a lot more than I thought he was going to, but you know, I don't mind it so much. I enjoyed the fourth wall jokes. Some of them were even more clever than I thought they were going to be, so, you know, it's cool, you know, it's cool, you know. You wanna put some effort and spice things up a little bit with your meta fourth wall breaking jokes? Okay, I can dig it. This movie did exactly what it set out to do, make a really fun and violent Deadpool movie, which was a nice change of pace from all the other superhero comic book films we're getting nowadays. So it was just a nice breath of fresh air, and you know, they didn't try to overcomplicate the plot with giant overarching story arcs that just overlap and collapse and cause plot holes and just make it so hard to keep up with, you know. The fact this movie is rated R, I think is really the only way this movie could have been done properly, because if this movie had a PG-13 version or was just PG-13 in general, I think it would have just watered down the whole movie and just not felt quite as Deadpool as it's supposed to be. This movie wasn't rated R because a couple of F-words, you know, a little bit of blood, you know, some heads getting cut off. No! They do not hold back whatsoever. It is a very violent movie, but you know, that works because Deadpool is a very violent character, so the two just go together like Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. I mean, what else can I say? So, sorry kids who couldn't get your parents to take you to this movie. I guess you'll just have to, I don't know, get your older sibling to buy the DVD when it comes out. I don't fucking know. Overall, I'd say Deadpool is great. No questions asked. The Blu-ray and DVD are supposed to have a crap load of bonus material when it comes out, so I'm looking forward to picking this up in a few months. I also just kind of hope it'll come in a cool red case like the Avengers Age of Ultron Blu-ray did, because you know, it looks nice and really stands out amongst the collection. So if you were old enough to actually see this movie in the theater, let me know what you thought about in the comments below, and I'll see you next time on The Questionable Side.